I'm Ryan Milton from Team Flex. You are on the Iron Palace, the show I run every Tuesday telling you all about your training and how you can make it better. Today we're going to talk about 5 protocols you can bring into your training today that will literally give you 10 times better results. Do me a favor, fam. Please subscribe to the channel and then share out this video when you get something out of it today, because I can promise you that you will. This is just one of the 5 awesome shows I run all week for you. I'm Ryan Milton from Team Flex. This is the Iron Palace. Today on the Iron Palace, I want to talk about your training, and I want to talk about 5 ways that you can instantly kick this up. You can bring your training to the next level so you can get 10 times better results. And literally, no matter who you are, how long you've been working out, I don't care if you've never done a workout or you've done 15, 20 years of training, this is a good reminder for everybody. These top 5 ways that you can spice up your training, bring in some new protocols and things like that, it can definitely change the game, because I'll tell you what, even as long as I've been lifting weights now and doing everything else, I know that people go through times where they can, get lackadaisical, for lack of a better word there, and start to fall off and forget some of these amazing high intensity protocols that you can bring in. So let's talk about them one at a time right here. First one being your mindset. Now, as much as people want to say, oh man, Ryan's starting this off being some hippie fucking dippy shit over here. No, I'm not. Mindset is actually one of the biggest ways to improve your training instantly, okay? If any of you have ever gone to the gym when you didn't want to, you had a bad day, you were just in a negative headspace, you'll know, guess what? That workout sucked. You didn't get anything done. You lifted less weight. You didn't do as many reps. Maybe you didn't even finish, or just regardless of whether or not you got through it, you felt like you weren't feeling your best. Right? You didn't feel like you wanted to be there, you didn't enjoy it, okay? If you don't think that that dramatically affects the results you're gonna get out of the gym, you're crazy, right? Going to the gym with the wrong type of mindset can automatically change your results from being good to bad in seconds. And you're just spinning your wheels, wasting your time. What you gotta do when you go to the gym is always have a positive mindset. Have a specific purpose for going there and a reason to be there. You have to remember, no matter who you are, what your goal is, you are going there for a reason. You set a goal, and the gym and the execution of these sets, these reps, these weights is what is going to get you to that goal. It is a stepping stone on a path to your massive success and achievement. And so if we know this and you're going into this, you got to think about it like that. You got to think you're laying another brick, not that you are so grueling and tired that you don't want to pick it up, right? At the end of the day, that's just one side of what the mindset can do for you. Literally, if you sit there and you focus with maximal intensity on every muscle that you train, you get your head into the muscles, you train everything while you're in the gym, you focus on that. You're not sitting around texting, you're not sitting around scrolling Instagram, you're not talking to people between sets, you're not listening to stupid bump music, you are sitting there focused on training. I guarantee you, right out the gate, you're going to get better results. People always want to look for supplements, they always want to look for different coaches, different programs. I'll tell you what, the greatest supplement you have it is your own fucking mindset. And get your head right will change the game for you, and that's why this has to be number 1. Number 2, tempos. And we are breaking now into actual training protocols, something you could actually do once you do the first step, which is get your damn head right, okay? If we're talking about getting better results, we cannot ignore tempos, as they are such a huge benefiting factor. In today's gym culture, I see the craziest shit when it comes to people not regarding form, doing reps too fast, doing half-ass this and that. And that, you know what, even I see some people with great physiques that neglect the ability and understanding of how to do tempos. And what a tempo is, if you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, it is basically where we take a repetition and we work in a specific tempo for each rep. Now, a lot of times you're going to see variance here in what those tempos could be, but I'm going to give you, for the sake of this video, one, which is a 4-1 tempo. Now, what that means is that you have 4 seconds on the downward motion of the exercise and 1 second on the upward motion of the exercise, all right? So I could get way scientific with this. That's the best way to describe it to you because that will make the most sense to all you watching right now. We could go down the rabbit hole, but we're not gonna do that. For example, think of it like this. Think of a squat. Maybe you're watching this in a place you could do a squat. If you were going into a squat, on the down portion you would count 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the bottom of your squat, and then you would take 1 second to stand up. Tempos put immense tension on these muscles, okay? They put so much tension on your muscle that it actually is way better for you than doing all these rep sets and overloading everything. People think that the key to building muscle is always more weight. While more weight is important and the progressive adaptation of adding more weight over time is something you have to do, tempos are another great way to add tension, because in a lot of ways when we add more weight, we're just adding tension anyway, right? More weight goes on, more tension on the muscle responds, muscle grows. Well, you can do less weight with tempos and get better results by doing an actual tempo and following the actual rep range, right? So when it comes to tempos, I'm going to suggest you do 4-1, something like that. You should do it in the 8 to 10 rep range, and you should really be focusing on your form. And right out the gate, if you bring in a workout where you do this on every single workout, you actually tempo your reps, I guarantee you will notice the next day, that evening, that whatever, you're going to notice a dramatically different effect right out the gate. I put tempos in so many of my programs for lifestyle clients and competitors, and absolutely changes the game. If you need help figuring out how to work your tempos into your training, go to teamfflex.com right now. We have a free trial. You can pop it in there, put your email in there, and we'll get you in the app and we'll show you how to do this absolutely free.
1, 2, 3!
Number 3 way you can instantly improve your gains in the gym, get better results faster, supersets, all right? And supersets, most of you probably know about this already, but a lot of people do get away from doing these, right? And there's so many different ways to do it, I couldn't make this video without covering. So a superset literally means you're doing a superset, and I don't really know why they started calling it a superset or the name became this, but basically, you're going to go from one exercise to the next exercise with no rest. So what this does automatically right away means you're turning up the intensity you're bringing in the gym because you're not resting between each and every set you're doing. Now, what a lot of people will do, and what could be a really good idea, is if you're training multiple body parts in a day, you can superset between these body parts, because essentially what you're doing is letting one muscle group rest while the other is working, and you can actually work back and forth while they're actually working and resting at the same time, right? So for example, if maybe it's a chest and back day, for guys out there doing a bench press and then going into a pull down and then going back to your bench press and then going to a pull down, right? You can do these things while the other group is resting because you're not actually using it, but you don't actually have to take the formal long period rest. This is what a lot of people that compete will do closer to show. I program a lot of competitors like this. I program a lot of clients that want to lose body fat like this. If they're lifestyle clients, I program a lot of people with supersets because of the ability to turn up the intensity. Super great practice for anybody who's also super busy. You don't have a lot of time to get in the gym. Maybe you have 30-40 minutes max or something like that. Superset your workout, you can get double the amount of stuff done in half the time. And so supersets you really just can't ignore. Another way you can put higher emphasis on a specific muscle group with the superset is by doing the same exercises in a different way for the same muscle group, okay? So for example, we could do, let's say for shoulders, a front raise and then a lateral raise and a rear raise, and we could superset 2 of those together, so you're doing your fronts and your laterals at the same time with no break, and it's going to really tax that muscle group, which brings us to the next protocol, which is the drop set. Drop Drop sets are awesome. I love drop sets. I program these in so many people's programs, lifestyle clients, especially competitors. And crazy enough, a lot of times people have no idea what I'm talking about or what it is. Like, a lot of people know what a superset is. They've probably done that before with other programs. But drop sets are something that not a lot of people do. And even if they do them, they don't really understand it. And apparently, even when I'm coaching it in our coaching app, people are getting confused by what it actually is. So a drop set, let me try to break this down for you in the most simplified manner that I possibly can. You're going to pick one exercise, and you're going to have two different sets of numbers that you got to get. Sometimes it's three, but for the sake of this example, two. All right, so let's say you're doing cable rows, something like that, and you have a drop set that is 12-12. Well, what this means is you go into this row and you do 12 reps. As soon as you are done, you immediately drop that weight. So you're going to go with a lighter weight and do another 12 reps. Now you have successfully completed one set. It's not counted as two sets because it's a drop set. 12-12, one set. Okay, so you see how this can kind of be confusing, but also it makes a lot of sense once you get it. And actually, when you do it, you'll feel it. And that can go a little further. I like to do triple drop sets and things like that. For example, in that scenario, it would be a 12-12-12 with a drop on every one of those sets and then a rest. And so that equates to one set. And basically what you're doing is you get to work an immense amount of pressure and intensity on a specific muscle group or a specific exercise very, very quickly. Because obviously, as you're doing 12-12-12, you know, you're actually doing like 24 reps. You're doing 36 reps. You're doing way more reps in that short period of time of one set than you would otherwise. And it's just a really good way to overload the muscle. However, you don't want to do stuff like this all the time. You don't want to be doing this year round, you know, with really heavy exercise and things like that, because what can happen is you start to get central nervous system fatigue and all sorts of stuff like that. If you want some extra help figuring out your drop sets, go to teamfflex.com, do that trial I told you about earlier, and I'll help you do it right now. Another protocol, number 5, for upping your intensity in the gym, getting better results instantly, would be called pause reps, all right? And this is something that unfortunately a lot of people don't do. I go to the gym every damn day, sometimes multiple times a day, and it is few and far between anybody that I see doing these pause reps. Now, you might be more familiar with power lifters or strongmen doing these things to work through ranges of motion. But pause reps are something that's beneficial for anybody lifting weights with any goal, okay? And so basically what it is, let's take the example of a curl, let's say right here. So you could pause at the top and hold that. You could pause in the middle somewhere, hold that. You could pause at the bottom, hold that. There's all different spots where you can do these pause reps, and how you program that in is going to be a little bit dependent on your goal. But at the end of the day, having a pause rep will totally increase your ability to put more tension and more weight on the muscle. You'll see a lot of people lift with very bad, poor form, right? Where they're jerking the weights, they're throwing things around, they're swinging here and there. Well, when you start to actually figure out pause reps and you actually start to incorporate them, you're going to be very humbled, anybody who does that. Because it's very, very hard to take those weights you swing around and actually control it and pause it through a full range of motion. So with that, you got to understand pause reps are probably one of the most important things you should consider working into your routine. And that's just one of the 5 protocols I gave you today. And there's honestly 5, 6, 7, 800 different ones I could tell you all the time. Hopefully, though, I gave you some ideas in this video today, some stuff you probably knew, some maybe you didn't. And either way, you can program these into your workouts to increase your results and really up your game in the gym, period. That's what we're always trying to do, and that's how you're going to do it. Even if you just pick one to do once a week for the next 5 weeks, you will definitely end up with a far better result, far better physique. You'll be further along with your strength, your fat loss, your contest prep goal, whatever it is you're trying to do. I guarantee you bring in any of these 5 things we talked about today, and it's going to for sure help you. If you want want additional help, I'm inviting all of you that made it this far, please go to my website, teamfflex.com, and subscribe to that email pop-up. It's a free trial for our coaching where me or one of my awesome coaches will get you set up free for 7 days. We'll show you how to work in all these protocols and make things specific for you and your goals, and it's all free. If you are serious about getting results and you don't want to train with world-class coaches for free, I don't know who you are. Go to teamfflex.com right now. Subscribe to that pop-up. I'm Ryan Milton from Team Flex. I'll be back tomorrow for first call-outs. Thanks for watching. Coach Ryan is out.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything.